I want to start out with one of my favorite quotes. And this is done by an author. I've read every one of his books. And I just bet every one of you have read all of his books too. Sometimes the questions are complicated and the answers are simple. Dr. Seuss. When I was 19, I was in a terrible automobile accident. Basically, I got hit from the side, and both cars took down 2 full-grown trees, smashed through a brick wall, and ended up in somebody's living room. So it was pretty awesome. I can assure you that I had a near-death experience. I had all the classical things. I floated up. I did the tunnel. I arrived. And I was fully conscious of who I was the entire time. You are your authentic self, no matter what, where, why. You are always yourself, and you are aware that it is you. So you definitely take all your feelings, knowledge, everything that you ever had with you when you transcend. I will be glad to talk to anyone about this experience later, but right now I'm going to move on to the important part. I ended up in the, I don't know what to call it. You can call it whatever you want. I'm just going to say it's where all that is. So I'm just going to say I ended up elsewhere. Not here, but elsewhere. And I was told, welcome, but you don't belong here. Now, immediately, my mind went, holy cow, I'm going to the other place. And I can assure you there is no other place. And then I was told, no, there is no other place, but you have to go back to Earth. You're not finished yet. Now, we'll be transparent about who I am. I am reluctant to agree to authority. I always have been. And I thought, maybe I can buy some time here. Maybe I can negotiate to stay a little longer because it is unconditional love. And they were pretty nice. So I said, I will go back if you will answer one question and allow me to remember the answer. And I went, that'll take them some time. Well, it didn't. The question was, what is the secret of the universe? Happy with myself, thinking this is going to take a while, and I settled in. I waited for the answer. And the answer is, love is what connects the universe. All the space in between everything is love. As love expands, the universe expands. When love doesn't expand, the universe contracts upon itself. That's pretty awesome. I found myself back on Earth, and I'm still here. So I guess I'm not through yet. And you guys aren't through yet either because you're still here. And my main thing is, I guess the Beatles were right. Love is all there is. Thank you. Now we get to do the affirmation. Yay! And this one is by my best friend, Laura Cass. Authenticity. I'm going to read this, and then afterwards, we're going to say it together twice. And the reason we do that is somebody in marketing felt like if you said something or heard something 3 times, you remembered it. So that's why we do it 3 times. Authenticity. I reveal my authentic self freely with love and gratitude. All together now. I reveal my authentic self freely with love and gratitude. One more time. Come on, let's get going here. I reveal my authentic self freely with love and gratitude. Fantastic, magnificent, superb.
So you, I, we are still growing up. You, I, we will still screw up. You, I, we still deserve a break. We're all growing up, and we will run into situations where other people or ourselves will screw up. And I really believe that we need to give other people and ourselves a break. I don't know about you, but I am often challenged when I drive in the city of Tucson. Is it only me? It's crazy out there. People are nuts. And I'm one of the people, says my cohort here. Who invited you? No. And I'm one of the people, and they are one of the people. And we need to give each other a break. When people are driving around like crazy and I'm trying to get to church, I get so angry. They cut me off, they go fast, they do crazy things that make my life difficult. And I get so angry and I look at them and I think, what a jerk. But I'm a minister. So I bless them on their way. I will confess, though, sometimes in my blessing, I use only one finger. I'm going to get kicked out of this church. You will not have an Iwi player anymore. And imagine them, they'll see me sometimes going a little crazy. One time I was driving to church, I was running late, I was playing with a band, I needed to be here for rehearsal. There was a guy in front of me going really slow. The road runners on the road were passing him. So we are both going down River Road, and we get to Craycroft, where the road turns from 1 lane to 2 lanes, and I pass him on the right side. And I can just see him going, look at that driver, that little green card, what a jerk. It's Reverend William, oh my God. So we all need to give a break because those bad drivers in Tucson, and sometimes me being a bad driver, we're all still growing up. We're going to screw up here and there. Not only that, when people do things that you feel are transgressions against you, those things usually have nothing to do with you. Those other drivers don't even know my name. But I take it so personally that they acted against me. When they didn't, they were just being Tucson drivers. You know, maybe I need to do more defensive driving. Maybe I need to leave earlier so I can drive slower and let them pass me. I don't know, but the point is that by me getting angry, showing up here all upset, it doesn't serve any purpose. Because what happened had nothing to do with me truly. It all had to do with the situation going on in that other person's life. There is no point in becoming upset and taking it personally. And even if I did become upset, the big point is give a break. Recently at home, I had an opportunity to be reminded of this in a greater way. A few weeks ago, I was scheduled to speak in front of you to lead the Sunday service. And come Friday afternoon, I'm starting not feeling so well. Start coming down with a sinus infection, which happens with me. I love the desert, but the desert and I don't quite get together well. So coming down with a sinus infection, by Saturday, it was clear that I couldn't do this. So I called Sherry, she pulled her magic, the service went on. This last Friday, I'm at work, my day job. This is my moonlighting job. In my day job, I teach all day long. I'm on my feet talking, and I started not feeling well, feeling pressure in my sinuses, feeling that tiredness that I feel when I'm coming down with a sinus infection. And I thought, oh no. If I call Sherry again, that will be the last of me here. So I texted my beautiful wife, who is a prayer chaplain. Said, honey, I got my own prayer chaplain. And I said, honey, I'm not feeling so well. I'm coming down with a sinus infection, I think, and I need your prayers. A text comes back with a beautiful, brief, but beautiful prayer. And I'm telling you, we talk about miracles, and sometimes we kind of gloss it over, but within 30 minutes, I was feeling 100% well. It was weird. It was magical. It was miraculous. It was, I don't know how she did it. I don't know how it happened, but I went from almost walking out of that classroom because I was feeling so ill to feeling full of energy and full of life. When I got home, I said, honey, thank you for your prayers. You amazing, miraculously, in half an hour, I felt well. And she said, let me tell you a little story. She said, some time ago, I went to a spiritual retreat. And they asked us to do an exercise where we went into meditation, and somebody, whoever that may be, would come to us and put a mantle over us of protection. And we need to wear that mantle of protection to be protected. She said, in my meditation, I saw Jesus himself come and put a mantle over me, a silver blue mantle that I wear around me for protection. She makes a living driving for Uber, and she says, before I leave the house, I pull the mantle over my car so that it can protect me, and I can be protected driving on the streets of Tucson, which we already talked about. She said, when I got your text message, I took the mantle off my car and I put it over you so that you would be healed. If I pull at Jonathan and start crying, forgive me. in that moment, besides my heart being melted again, I realized I need to make a mental note to give this woman a break. Next time her Italian genes and her Brazilian genes come together into a confluence of anger that would put an earthquake to shame, I need to remember all the love and kindness she has poured into my life. And so should you when that happens to you. Because the biggest spiritual thing you can do, the biggest love that you can give somebody is give them a break when they screw up. So in my mind, when I think about forgiving someone, I don't think I forgive you. I'm a little dyslexic, so I change the words around and I say, for I give to you of my kindness so that our relationship may be healed. For I give to you of my kindness so that our relationship may be healed. So I'm a little dyslexic, I already said that. Hey, do you hear about the dyslexic atheist? Yeah, he believes there is no dog. Paul, not respect. Anyway, I'm a little dyslexic. About a few years ago, when COVID started easing up and businesses were opening, I decided I wanted to attend church again. I have been speaking at churches for many years, but it had been a long time since I was part of a church community. So I showed up, sat back there, minded my own business, stayed below the radar, and I'm listening to all the wonderful things that Reverend Jonathan says on Sunday, particularly that mission statement. So he's going over this carefully, and I'm trying to internalize it. So I'm going back there quietly. Love always. Love always. Remember everything. Forgive who you are. What? Wait a second. That's not it. That came out wrong. Sorry. But seriously, not joking for 30 seconds, which is hard for me to do. Love always, forgive everything, remember who you are. However, in my dyslexic version, when I said to myself, forgive who you are, I realized that sometimes I need to forgive who I have been in the moment. Sometimes I need to forgive how I screwed up, and then I became my own judge, and I caused my own judgment. So besides giving other people a break when they screw up, we need to give ourselves a break when we screw up. And we will, and I will, and you will. And it's very important to forgive yourself for who you were in that moment. You were not doing your best for whatever circumstance, but you know that you can do better next time. She thought that was funny. That's good. I got one fan in the audience. So when you screw up, forgive who you are. And instead of saying, I forgive myself, once again say, for I give my kindness to myself, I can heal the situation. In the same way that we're invited to share our kindness with others, we need to share our kindness with ourselves. Because whether you realize it or not, you are a huge judge of yourself. And when the jury and the judge are the same person, that's a sign of trouble. So give yourself a break. And again, realizing that like most people, they are not doing something to hurt you consciously. You yourself were not consciously trying to hurt yourself. And it is time to say to yourself, for I give myself of my own kindness, I will heal the situation. There have been many books written about forgiveness, but there is a particularly good book written by Colin Tipping, a British author, and he wrote a book titled Radical Forgiveness. We might do a class or workshop on that book coming up when the stars align themselves. And right on the first chapter, he wrote something that just knocked me dead right there. He said, it's not enough to forgive each situation. We have to find out the original pain and forgive it. Because all those people that we have been forgiven through the years are only acting out the same thing that happened to us a long, long time ago that made a wound that hasn't been healed. And until we heal that wound, it will keep happening. In my life, I had a long, long, long history of attracting women in romantic relationships that kept me at a distance. They wouldn't go in 100% and they wouldn't leave. Why is that funny? Yeah, you try it. So they wouldn't take me in and they wouldn't leave. And there we were in this in-between thing that never worked out. And so after I read that book, I started peeling the onion, and voila, I found the moments when my stepmother, who I lived with for my formative years, always kept me at a distance. Maybe she's doing better now. We all are growing up. But back then, when I was a teenager, I grew up in a home with a woman that never took me in nor would leave. And I play that over and over and over in many of my romantic relationships. So find out where the root pain was and heal it. Otherwise, it will keep showing up. I'm done with that. I'm in a wonderful marriage with an amazingly wonderful woman who takes me in 100%. And for that, I am very grateful. But that wouldn't have happened until I healed the root pain. Take a look at that. I'm going to ask you a question, not a rhetorical question. Do you want to see the people in your life happy? Yes. What is this? Sesame Street? Do you want to, not rhetorical question, do you want to see people in your life happy? I'm going to give you a clue. A great way to make sure people in your life are happy is that you are happy. When mama ain't happy, nobody ain't happy. Or when papa ain't happy, nobody ain't happy. So for you to find happiness in your life, don't wait for others to do it. You begin the happiness in your life. Is that clock right? Says that I'm almost done and I've been talking for 5 minutes. He's looking at the clock. I'm joking. I got to wrap it up, but if you want to see people in your life happy, you be happy. I was senior minister of a church a few years ago, a church about this size, and I used my office as the green room. The green room is where actors or performers can gather themselves before going on stage. And I would stay in my office, do a prayer and meditation. Then at the right time, I would walk into the sanctuary, come on the platform, and lead the service, as I did today. And once in a while, it would happen that a minute or two before I needed to leave my office and walk into the sanctuary, the phone would ring, or I would get a text message with some really, really bad news. And in those 5 years of being a senior minister of a church, I learned many good lessons, and one of the greater ones was how to put a happy face even though you may be dying 1,000 deaths inside. Because the people of my congregation had nothing to do with the bad news that came on the phone a few minutes ago. They deserve my best. And so practice the fine art of showing your happiness even though there may be something going on. And that is not fake happiness. That is a real happiness that you share, because I learned to put aside the bad news, do my service, and then get back to what I needed to do. Because the way to seeing happiness in your home, seeing harmony in your home, seeing love in your home is that you become happy, you become harmonious, and you become loving. That's where it starts, with you. So let's think about a little homework. Oops, sorry, Jonathan. He's watching. Let's look about a little home practice. There you go. I'm a teacher, I talk about homework. Let's talk about a little home practice. Things will come up this week when you will be challenged, guaranteed. Your homework is, no slides, just take a note or remember it. Your homework is, number one, when that situation comes up, give the other person a break. Number two, when that situation comes up and you didn't handle it so well, give yourself a break. And number three, through the ups and downs, in and outs of life, put on the happy face. Not a fake happy face, but make up your mind that things are okay and we'll deal with it when we need to deal with it. For myself, I love you, I bless you, and I pledge to do my best when the time comes to give each one of you a break.
Are you spiritual but not religious? Do you believe in unconditional love? Are you ready to create the life you know you deserve? Are you looking for an inclusive spiritual community? Do you want to discover how magnificent you really are? If you're looking for a spiritual path that's all about love, freedom of choice, and compassion,
we can't wait to meet you.
Unity of Tucson, Sundays at 9:15 a.m.